All right, so just to finish this series here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to train on him a little bit. So again, this horse is still a little bit new to my program. I think he's doing really well, and I can get him to really drive himself through its diagonal really well in fast circles, straight lines, setting up for lead changes, but I still meet resistance in many areas because he is still a young stallion. He's still, you know, getting into shape, developing physically, and he's not always happy about me using my spurs in his belly and pulling on him, but he starts to really know what I want. So I'm going to do a short training session here and let you watch it. I kind of walk you through it a little bit as I go, and give you a little bit more of just a good visual of what I mean by everything that we just talked about and how I use leg and hand pressure in order to get what I need and set my horse up perfectly. So now I'm going to work in setting my horse up for a lead change on his right diagonal. So when I trotted there and set him up, I felt that he set himself up really nicely through its right diagonal. So my lead departure was really clean and nice and very effortless. Okay, so this is why we're doing this, okay? So I like working with my hands close together above the shoulders as if I was one-handed, especially with a horse that has, you know, close to 2 years of training. Okay, so and I'm going to use a serpentine or I'm going to use just a 90-degree turn and straight line in order to help increase my horse diagonal. Now this horse favors his right side over his left side, so he's a lot more flexible. Well, he's got this slight incurvation to the right, and it's harder for me to straighten him up. Okay, so what I'm working on the most is whenever I come with my hand and leg pressure, he gives good. I don't necessarily have a point of resistance, but he overbends himself to the right and doesn't straighten up his body just quite enough. And so then if I increase a little bit my hand and leg pressure in order to say, hey, I need you to bring that rib cage in and straighten up and channel that energy through your right diagonal better, this is where I meet my resistance. Now when I do, what happens is I keep that pressure. I'm going to sit right away. As soon as I feel that resistance, like right here, I'm going to sit on my pockets deeper. I'm going to increase the pressure with my driving leg, which is my left leg, and increase the movement with my right leg, which is sending him forward. Okay, there he thought I was going to ask a lead change, which is no big deal because I exaggerating my movement with my right leg, and he, despite him finding it difficult to really channel his energy through its right diagonal properly, he has a really clean lead change from right to left. So this is why I'm not going to be changing this horse lead that often. But I'm going to be working on setting him up very often. All right. There. See how he's pushing and channeling through its right diagonal right here? Now I could not have had him better set up for lead change. And see here, I came with my leg and hand and I met zero resistance, okay? I felt like it was a little bit laborious getting to this point, maybe because I was talking at the same time, but definitely got him where I want him now, okay? Lift my hands, increase the pressure. There you go, beautiful. This is the drive I'm after. When I have this horse, sure. He's been wanting to change lead so bad, I was like, sure. So if I want to have this horse perform at the best of its ability, this is the drive. This is the position that I need him. When I can channel that energy and pressure my horse into using its body the way that I had him before I asked him that lead change, despite his lead change not being perfect actually and not reacting to my leg great, so I need to go and work on that left diagonal, I still had him set up perfectly. If I have my horse running fast circles, straight lines to a stop, or set himself up for lead changes in this position, he will always perform those maneuvers at the best of his ability. So let's go and work on the left side here a little bit. Setting him up here. Outside leg pressure. Inside leg is keeping the forward motion. My hands are pointing the direction I want the feet to go, and controlling and setting up the shoulders. There. So I was meeting no resistance with my hands or legs, so I decided to not put more pressure, although I felt he wasn't quite driving its energy perfectly through its body, and you could tell because the result of that was he sort of dove into the left a little bit of his lead departure. But I'm not gonna worry about that too much right now. We're gonna worry on setting him up by using our legs and hands and setting him up perfectly for a lead change, let's say from left to right, or set him up perfectly for executing something like fast circles or run down on the left lead. So I'm pushing his hip a little bit harder than the other way because I feel like he's this is what he has a harder time doing. There. Now I got him where I want him, right here. Okay. Really sensitive. Okay, he's reacting really good to my outside leg there, and he knows it. This is why I think he wanted to break to a walk. He was like, hey, I got you, I gave you what you wanted, so how about a break here? Sure, you can have it. But now that I got him where I want him, now it's time to ask something or do something with it, okay? So, but again, very important to see that my reaction to meeting resistance is always going to be right away to sit deeper in my pocket, increase my the difference in my leg position by bringing my outside leg a little further back, increasing that drive from that outside leg, more forward motion, more of a pumping motion with my inside leg in that to help my horse understand that he needs to channel that energy through that inside left diagonal, and keep my hands steady at that point of resistance. If I feel then that my horse is lazy, then I will increase hand pressure so that he gives me a little bit more of a give. See a much better lead departure here. Didn't dive in or anything like that. Kind of got him where I want him here off the bat, so I'm going to just make sure that I let him know that I'm happy with that by telling him with my hands and the soft wrist and sort of a flick of the reins to say, this is a release I'm offering you because you're doing the effort that I want. Now I'm going to see if I ask him to set up 100% what kind of reaction I get. No resistance, a little bit lazy. There you go. So I rewarded that right away because as soon as I increased a little pressure with my seat, right away there, I got the give that I want. So I'm gonna try this in fast circles and see what happens. Now he's staying with me. Now I feel he's dropping his shoulder a little bit, so I'm gonna set him up. Same thing as I was doing when I was walking or loping slow. Now he needs a little bit more of a drive and lift his inside shoulder. So I'm going to increase the pressure with my left hand and right leg. Resistance, resistance, resistance. He's pushing on me. It's fine. Keep going until I get what I want. There. That was nice. I'm going to ask again. There. No resistance. Reward. Very nice. Oh. Boy. Okay, so again, there's a lot that I can do with this, but hopefully this gives you an idea of how I use this on a day-to-day training session. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.